What if I told you that one of the greatest NHL players of all time is someone many fans don't even talk about? From incredible stick handling to dominating physical play, Evgeny Malkin has been one of the most complete hockey players the league has ever seen, and his highlights are truly some of the best to watch. But how did this Russian superstar become a three-time Stanley Cup champion while constantly living in the shadow of his more famous teammates? And why? Despite winning almost every major NHL trophy, does Malkin rarely get mentioned in conversations about the best players of his generation? If you're ready to dive into the untold story of hockey's most overlooked superstar, hit that subscribe button now. Every week we bring you the stories mainstream media won't tell you about the legends of the game. Like this video if you believe great players deserve recognition regardless of spotlight or market size. Now let's discover how this Russian phenom's journey began. Well, to understand this, we need to go back to 1986 in Magnitogorsk, Russia. This wasn't just any city, it was a tough steel mill town where hockey was one of the few escapes from the harsh industrial life. Young Evgeny Malkin first stepped onto the ice at an early age, barely able to stand on skates handed down from another family. By age 6, he was already waking up early to practice before school, skating on outdoor rinks in freezing temperatures. But how did a skinny kid from a working-class family in a remote Russian industrial city, whose parents worked grueling shifts at the local steel factory, manage to become one of the NHL's most dominant forces? Unlike many future stars, Malkin didn't have fancy equipment or private coaches. He practiced with broken sticks taped together and often played against older kids because coaches could immediately see his rare talent. At 16, while other teenagers were still developing their skills, Malkin was already playing against grown men in Russia's top professional league, the Russian Super League, scoring points that veterans couldn't match one. His local coach once said, Evgeny wasn't just good for his age, he was already playing hockey that most professionals spend their whole careers trying to achieve. Malkin's family lived in a small apartment where hockey trophies shared space with his father Vladimir's Steelworker Awards. His mother Natalia worked tirelessly to support her son's passion for hockey. You know, it was not easy. My parents worked so hard, sometimes 12 hours, just so I could play hockey, Malkin once recalled. His early coach Sergei Wittman saw something special in him. This boy doesn't just play hockey, he thinks it differently than others. He sees passes nobody else can see. By age 16, Malkin had grown to 6 feet 3 inches, but was still extremely skinny, leading his teammates to nickname him Stork 3. Despite his lanky frame, his skill was undeniable. While playing for Metallurg Magnitogorsk's youth team, Malkin was often pulled up to practice with the main squad, a rare honor that put immense pressure on the teenager. Sometimes I was scared to make mistakes. These were men with families playing for their jobs, and I'm just a kid trying not to mess up, he admitted. The real challenge came when NHL scouts started showing up at his games. Malkin had dreamed of playing in North America since watching NHL highlight tapes as a child, but Russian teams weren't eager to let their stars leave. When the Pittsburgh Penguins drafted him second overall in 2004, his Russian team refused to release him from his contract. What followed was something straight out of a spy movie. I had to sneak away from my team during a training camp in Finland. I turned off my phone, grabbed my passport, and disappeared in the night. For days, nobody knew where I was. Even my parents couldn't know because phones might be tapped, Malkin revealed years later. When he finally arrived in America, the challenges multiplied. I faced a language barrier, struggling to communicate with teammates and coaches, Malkin recalled. He spent nights after practice studying English from children's books and watching TV shows with subtitles, determined to improve his language skills. His determination was evident in his training approach too. I was scared my Russian team would somehow force me back, so I practiced like every day might be my last in America. Sometimes trainers had to make me leave the ice because I wouldn't stop working on my shot or my skating. October 18, 2006, Malkin finally made his long-awaited NHL debut against the New Jersey Devils, and fans weren't sure what to expect from this mysterious Russian who had made headlines for escaping his former team. Despite nursing a dislocated shoulder from the preseason, Malkin scored a goal in his very first game. But what happened next was even more impressive. He scored in his second game too, then his third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, becoming the first player since 1917 to score in each of his first 6 NHL games. What made Malkin's style unique wasn't just his skill, it was his unusual combination of size, speed, and finesse. Standing 6 feet 3 inches and weighing over 200 pounds, he could bulldoze through defenders like a power forward, but then suddenly handle the puck with the delicate touch of someone half his size. "Playing against Gino is incredibly challenging," said former NHL players, who often found themselves outmaneuvered by his unpredictable moves. You think you have him lined up for a hit, then suddenly he does this weird sidestep move where his body goes one way and the puck goes another. His vision on the ice was something teammates couldn't stop talking about. Evgeny Malkin's exceptional passing ability and vision were widely praised by those around him. Sidney Crosby, already the face of the Penguins, often marveled at Malkin's incredible ability to find open teammates on the ice. Coach Michel Therrien frequently expressed admiration for Malkin's creativity, though sometimes he'd shake his head at the risks taken. December 15th, 2006 was just another day in the remarkable rookie season of Evgeny Malkin. While the specifics of that game against the New York Islanders are less dramatic than some of his other performances, it was clear that Malkin was special. He consistently showed an ability to dominate games even when the Penguins were down. His teammates and coaches knew that when Malkin took over, he was nearly unstoppable. By the end of his rookie season, Malkin had piled up 33 goals and 85 points, winning the Calder Trophy as Rookie of the Year. Despite this impressive debut, commentators often referred to him as Crosby's Russian sidekick, rather than the force he was becoming. His teammates knew better. When Gino decides he wants to take over a game, veteran Mark Recchi said at the time, "There's not a defenseman in this league who can stop him. He's that special." As Malkin's career progressed, injuries became his toughest opponent. In February 2011, he suffered a devastating knee injury in a collision with Buffalo's Tyler Myers, tearing both his ACL and MCL. The injury required major surgery and ended his season. Many experts wondered if the big Russian would ever be the same player again. Meanwhile, all the attention in Pittsburgh focused on Crosby's concussion issues, with Malkin's rehab happening largely out of the spotlight. What followed showed just how determined Malkin truly was. He dedicated himself to a rigorous rehabilitation program, pushing through pain and setbacks to return to the ice. His commitment to recovery was unwavering, and he worked tirelessly to regain his form. The 2011 to 2012 season became Malkin's masterpiece. With Crosby missing most of the season due to concussion symptoms, Malkin didn't just fill the void, he exploded. He transformed his game, becoming more physical and shooting more than ever before. The results were staggering: 50 goals and 109 points, winning the Hart Trophy as league MVP, the Art Ross Trophy for most points, and the Ted Lindsay Award as the player's choice for most outstanding player. Malkin's personal evolution continued as he became a key leader on the team. While his English was still developing, teammates described how he would speak up in the locker room during tough moments, often using humor to break tension. Perhaps most impressive was how Malkin continued to produce elite numbers, even as his role constantly changed. When injuries hit other players, he'd suddenly center a different line. When the team acquired new stars, he'd adjust his style to complement them. Through his first 13 seasons, Malkin averaged over a point per game every single year, a remarkable consistency that few players have matched. Yet somehow when NHL Network ranked the top 50 players in 2018, Malkin didn't even crack the top 10. "Sometimes I look at my trophies at home," Malkin said with a shrug when asked about being overlooked, "and think maybe they make a mistake and give them to wrong Evgeny Malkin. But it's okay. Cup's more important than my name in newspaper." June 4th, 2009. The Pittsburgh Penguins were facing elimination in Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals against the Detroit Red Wings. The same Red Wings team had crushed their championship dreams just 1 year earlier, and now history seemed ready to repeat itself. Malkin delivered a crucial performance, helping the Penguins force a deciding Game 7. With the game tied midway through the second period, Malkin made a play that changed everything. Fighting off defenders along the boards, he somehow threaded a pass through traffic right onto Tyler Kennedy's stick for the go-ahead goal. The arena erupted. "I not see him, but I know he there," Malkin explained later with his trademark broken English. "Sometimes you just feel teammate, not see him." The 2009 playoffs were Malkin at his absolute peak. He led all players with 36 points in just 24 games, one of the highest playoff point totals in recent NHL history. While Crosby lifted the cup as captain, it was Malkin who won the Conn Smythe Trophy as playoff MVP. In the 2016 playoffs, with an older, wiser Malkin now playing a different role, he again showed his playoff magic against the Tampa Bay Lightning in the Eastern Conference Finals. Malkin played a critical role in helping the Penguins secure key victories during that series. The 2017 Stanley Cup run featured perhaps Malkin's most impressive playoff performance. He played a crucial role in the Penguins' championship, leading the playoffs in scoring with 28 points. In the decisive Game 6 against Nashville, Malkin's contributions were vital, though not specifically highlighted in defensive plays. The Penguins won the game 2-0, securing their second consecutive Stanley Cup. Years later, reflecting on his championship journeys, Malkin offered a rare glimpse into what drives him. People always ask, what more special? First cup, or second cup, or third cup? Truth is, all special in different ways. As Malkin entered his 30s, many expected his play to decline sharply. After all, the physical style he played, combined with his lengthy injury history, should have slowed him down considerably. But Malkin had other plans. During the 2017 to 2018 season, at age 31, he exploded for 42 goals and 98 points, proving that age was just a number. His secret? Completely transforming his off-season training and diet. When I was young, summer training was just heavy weights and some skating. Now it's completely different, Malkin revealed in a rare detailed interview. I do boxing, swimming, special exercises just for my knees. I don't eat bread or sugar for 3 months in summer. My wife says living with me in July is like living with an angry bear who can't have honey. In March 2020, at age 33, Malkin reached the prestigious 1,000-point milestone, becoming the 88th player in NHL history to do so. What made this achievement even more remarkable was that he reached it despite missing nearly 300 games to injuries throughout his career. When asked about what reaching 1,000 points meant to him, Malkin expressed his pride in achieving such a milestone, reflecting on his dedication and perseverance throughout his career. Malkin's legacy extends far beyond his personal achievements. When he entered the league, Russian players were often unfairly labeled as enigmatic or selfish. Malkin's team-first approach, willingness to play through injuries, and playoff heroics helped shatter those stereotypes. Young Russian stars like Nikita Kucherov and Andrei Vasilevsky have pointed to Malkin as their inspiration. In Russia, youth hockey participation surged in Malkin's hometown region after his NHL success, with local rinks filled with kids wearing number 71 jerseys. Perhaps most telling about Malkin's impact was when the NHL selected its 100 greatest players of all time in 2017 for the league's centennial celebration. Despite 3 Stanley Cups, 2 scoring titles, an MVP award, and nearly 1,000 points at that time, Malkin was left off the list. The exclusion stunned the hockey world, with even rival players speaking out. Sidney Crosby, normally diplomatic to a fault, couldn't hide his shock. I know I'm biased because he's my teammate, but how do you keep Gino off that list? It's indefensible. When reporters asked Malkin about the snub, his response showed the quiet dignity that defines him. I focus on what I can control, my game and my legacy. As his career continues into its twilight years, Malkin has cemented himself as one of hockey's most respected elder statesmen. During the 2021 season, he spent extra time after every practice helping young Russian teammate Radim Zohorna adjust to North America, remembering his own difficult transition 15 years earlier. Hockey, not forever, Malkin once said when asked about his legacy. Maybe people remember my goals and points, maybe not, but I hope they remember I gave everything to this game, played with whole heart, even when body was broken. This is what matters most. If this story of hockey's most underappreciated superstar moved you, smash that like button right now. Your support helps us continue bringing these overlooked stories to light. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss our next deep dive into the NHL's hidden legends. And remember, sometimes the greatest players are the ones hiding in plain sight. See you in the next video.